Snehal, thanks for joining us on the AI 360 podcast. Really excited to have you here. Want to dive in? I think we've got some really interesting topics today. Can you tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing in the sector you play in?
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Snehal Waghulde, and I'm a managing director within our AI and engineering practice, and I focus on investment management and real estate clients.
Awesome. So Snehal, there's got to be some amazing AI use cases happening in this sector. Could you dive into a little bit like what you're seeing from a sector perspective around AI?
Yes, absolutely. So, look, this sector is under a lot of pressure currently, right? And especially in the current geopolitical landscape, there has been a lot of uncertainty. And as a result, the clients are thinking about, how do I maintain the cost pressure? How do I think about new products and asset classes to bring to clients and draw in lead flows? And third is, how do I make robust sales and distribution channels to bring those products to clients? And when you really think about AI, it can enable all of them, right? From a cost pressure perspective, it can help from an efficiency lens. When you think about new products, it can help with research, conceptualization, and then last around sales and marketing. And it can really help end to end from modernizing the entire core to really finding ways in which you can merge your internal and external data and create intelligent clustering as well as custom content.
Wow, that's awesome. So there's a ton of things you're using AI for with your clients, which I love. And you're hitting on some key themes for us that we typically see around cost efficiency or around driving growth through customer engagement. Maybe you could share a little bit more about some of the specific use cases you're seeing there. Are you guys using AI agents? That's the hot topic around right now. What are you seeing?
Yes, AI agent is certainly the new kid on the block and a lot of excitement around it. It's still early days, I'll be candid, but let me give you two examples. One from the investment management space where we're talking about, and second around real estate, right? So first one within investment management, think about portfolio rebalancing, right? Today's junior analysts or trade analysts will do this, but in the future, AI agents can come in and automatically monitor clients' portfolio as well as market conditions and then execute trades to make sure that you're constantly hitting your target allocation mix. And while doing that, they can keep things like your risk profile, your investment objectives, tax implication, transaction costs, all of these factors can be kept in mind when they're doing that, right? So really powerful. When you think about real estate, lease management is a really big pain area for them. And again, in this case, AI agents can play a huge role. They can automatically monitor all the leases. They can monitor key dates, such as renewals, different clauses, and then proactively reach out to tenants as well as property managers to get ahead of this. They can also flag certain compliance issues, right? So really transformative from both lenses, and a lot of chatter about that in the industry.
Wow, those are great examples. And I do hear you. We're very much on these early days of AI agents and being deployed with our clients. As you think about your conversations, and we've seen in our data too that organizations are really struggling with going from POC to production. We're seeing that the pace of technology change is kind of outpacing sort of the organization's adoption for change. What are some of the challenges that you're digging into with your clients that they're facing as they try to adopt AI at the enterprise level?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jim. And AI is a novel technology in some cases, especially around generative AI, right? So it does come with certain risks and a few things to keep in mind. Number one is around data. Right. So a lot of my clients have disparate data sources, therefore disjointed data, and therefore that impacts their model accuracy in some ways. And then you layer in certain regulations like GDPR, which have considerations around using your client and transaction data, and that makes it even more complex. Right. Then the other angle is technology. A lot of clients are still on old school legacy technology and infrastructure. And unfortunately, those cannot run your AI workloads. Right. The third one I would highlight is talent. It's really difficult to find the right mix of tech, data, deep functional experts, and what I call as AI enthusiasts who can really push change, specifically in this sector. And then the last one I'll hit upon is around security, right? This is new and it's going to introduce certain vulnerabilities, and it's important for clients to keep that in mind as well.
Those seem a little bit like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with all these challenges sort of facing us? There's got to be some things that organizations are doing to help navigate them. Like talent's one that comes up a lot in my conversations, whether it's education, executive understanding of what's going on in the market. What are some advice or things you're giving folks around that challenge or more broadly about, how to tackle this space?
Absolutely. So let's start with the talent one, Jim. I think, the generative AI is an enabler, it's a technology, but at the end of the day, it's only as good as how people use it, right?
Mm.
And what's unique about this is it's really difficult to change the way you do things every day. You really need to make a conscious effort to do that. And you have to train your brain to think differently, right? To be able to do different things. So a lot of
Yeah.
conversations around how do we increase the fluency? How do we incentivize people who are pioneers in this space and really drive excitement and not fear? Right. And then the
Yeah.
other two pieces of advice I'll give you, slightly tangential to that, is that I talk to my clients about really focus on building future ready data foundation. Because look, data is a really important asset and nobody wants to own it. And it's really difficult to get it clean and in a timely fashion. So, really important to start now so that you can be ready for the future. And then the last one I'll go back to is around proactively prioritizing responsible AI, right? It's a complex topic and a lot of teams are involved, and therefore it shouldn't be an afterthought, right? It should be something to thinking of it from the onset.
Those are great. And then I think really important advice for folks. I love the push to kind of start using the technology. I feel like if executives are out there and not using the technology today in their personal life, in the enterprise, really missing sort of the connectivity they can have around how to use it, where it can be applied the most. And I also really love your point around the trust and secure kind of AI aspects of this too. You're clearly in a highly regulated industry, but this applies across all industries and sectors. And I think the need to stay both agile with this regulatory environment, how to adapt to it, but also really having a North Star as an organization to like, what are your guardrails and how do you want to drive that is really, really important too. So really appreciate all your time, thoughts, energy around this topic. I'm sure we'll be seeing you on plenty of calls in the future talking about this with your clients. So thanks again for joining our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Take care. Have a good day.
Hmm.